Today's video is a bit of a review because this is a customer's 180 swapped MR2, and this is the most typical basic conversion that you can get. So a otherwise standard Mark III MR2 just with the basic upgrade. He's gone for the rear mount intercooler. We've got a charge cooler available now as well. Same money, just depends what you want to do. Basically, I honestly say the charge cooler is a bit more effective, but not by much. There's both the charge cooler or intercooler setups available. They're the same money. I would say most people go for the charge cooler setup because there's no need to modify the back bumper for extra cooling. But it's probably a little bit more money in the end, because while the kit's the same money from us, you would have to buy and fit lines to the front and a water radiator at the front and a pump and all that. So realistically, this is cheaper, but it depends what you want really. But aside from that, externally looks standard, and you don't have to have the cutout, but it makes it more efficient, so it makes sense. The same as the bottom bit there, the grill has been removed. You could just make the bottom bit there real, because as standard, the plastic, what looks like a grill, is actually solid pretty much. So you could either vent that or just remove it, which is what we've done here. It's simple. It's a 2-second job either way. They literally clip in. Under the bonnet, engine cover, everything's pretty much dominated by the duct for the intercooler. Alloy down to the big intercooler. It's good as well because any rain just doesn't go in your engine bay. The engine is a completely standard and unopened 225 spec engine from Audi TT Quattro, normal Mark 1 Quattro. So it's got the KO4 and so on. This one's an APX rather than a BAM. The only difference is this hasn't got the VVT solenoid, but in reality, makes no difference really. This is still running the BAM ECU and a BAM MAF, but yeah, technically it's an APX. Standard KO4 manifold and KO4 turbo. The off-the-shelf 3-inch turbo back exhaust down there, which goes to sports cap, which is on a V-band, so you can remove it, and it comes with a decap pipe, so you've got either one, up to you. That is the standard KO4 turbo, and where the intake pipes lead into is the new cold air induction setup. You don't have to run that. If you really wanted to, you could run the standard 180 intake pipe, which would put the filter behind there somewhere. But this is a proper cold air setup, which it goes around here, along here, under here, which is where the standard air feed to the airbox on these cars go, and the filter and the MAF are in here, so completely protected from the hot air of the engine bay. And the thing is, you get a lot of people going, yeah, but this duct feeds my air filter in the engine bay or my air filter back there anyway. No, they don't actually. We thought they did until we tested it, which you can look at in previous videos. I'll put it up in the top corner so you've got a link to see what we mean. But basically, even with this completely blanked off, it didn't affect performance or temperatures at all. These things do next to nothing. It was, a surprise to us, but yeah, they are not at all effective at any speed as well, because obviously I tested it up to the top of 4th gear, and intake temps and performance just as bad whether it's blocked off or not. And because as standard, the intake pipe is a 3-inch, fair play, 3-inch from the airbox, which is like there, and it goes round here along where our new one goes and down to here, and people think it's actually linked to that, but it's not. It goes back into the engine bay there, and it's sucking from the back of the engine bay, and this is what feeds the back of the engine bay too. So not only is this pipe getting engine bay temperature air, so not that cold anyway, this doesn't feed the engine bay cold air like you'd imagine it to. Even we thought it would. So overall, it's a bit rubbish. It doesn't really do anything in the standard setup, but this setup is true cold air all the way to there. And as a bonus, it sounds bloody good too. Sort of sporty but fairly quiet idle, and considering that's a 3-inch turbo back exhaust and a very short one too, it's pretty quiet as things go. That's Thomas working on his motor. First thing you'll notice when you drive these is it drives like standard, just faster. Like, I'm barely touching the throttle, and it is really nice. Almost no throttle. Literally that's 20% throttle, and it's insta boost. You know, 2000 RPM boost. You know, there's no lag. It's got low down power like a turbo diesel, but it revs to cleanly to whatever you want to rev it to. Realistically, on a KO4, 6,500 is probably enough. It could do more, but the power's not really there after 6.5 with a small turbo. But the drivability, I mean, you can just leave it in 4th gear, 1500 RPM, and it pulls. You know, I've literally not changed gear once. You could be super lazy. This is 6th gear, 2000 RPM, 45 miles an hour, instant positive boost. And I'm not sure if it'd do it, but let's see how, like, if I could just drive everywhere in top 6th gear. So yeah, literally didn't even have to change down for the roundabout, and it's on boost. It just drives lovely. Like a 2ZZ, you're not going anywhere until 6,500 RPM, and it's not even fast then at 6,500 RPM. This pulls from basically idle, but makes way more power than a 2ZZ and about double the torque. And it also helps, it sounds great. But yeah, even as this is a basically on a standard base map, it's probably making 220, 230 horsepower. But it drives great because it's in a, you know, cause that's already more than even a 2ZZ swap will get you, and it's about what a bloody 1ZZ turbo conversion will get you. But this is just the base map. This exact same setup, same turbo, same everything, just with a tune to suit, you know, go to Badger 5, get it on the dyno, get them to map it. This should make between 260 and 285 generally, and easily 300 pound-foot of torque. And the 300 pound-foot isn't the limit, it's just the safe limit that they stop at if you've got standard internals. So, and even as this is, it's fucking rapid. Genuinely, no bullshit, this is the best value for money, best all-round conversion you can do for a Mark 3 MR2. It's the same great car it always is, just with a brilliant power band and great performance. There you have it. Honestly, the 180 swap is the affordable conversion to make what's a car with a lot of potential but not thought of highly by anybody really as standard into a proper mid-engine sports car for not very much money. Or if you put a bit more money into it, something absolutely insane like my thing. And my thing's quite mild. You know, there's a reason there's a lot of 180 swapped Lotus Elises and Exeges. It's because it works very, very well for not a ridiculous amount of money in a light mid-engine rear-wheel drive sports car. And if one thing these things need, it's a bit of performance.